Sure. Yeah. So I'm Steve Van Tuyl. I'm the community manager of the Academic Data Science Alliance. We are a relatively new community that formed just a little bit over a year ago to support academic researchers in their efforts to bring best practices to data science education and research. We kind of spawned out of a smaller program that was funded by the Moore and Sloan Foundations to stand up 3 data science institutes at major universities to kind of give it a go with sufficient funding and see how it went. And so the goal of ADSA is to bring the lessons learned from those institutes out to the broader academic community, and then try to also gain information from folks who have also been building data science programs and institutes across the US and internationally. But there are a few things that I think maybe are worth mentioning. So I think that the biggest thing about this process that was really interesting for me and our executive director was that there are a lot of questions that are asked in this profile building process that I think are questions that we as a community sort of mean to ask ourselves about our community, but we never get around to doing it. There's not, these are the kinds of questions that kind of get pushed off down the road, given how busy we are with other things. So questions like how many community members do we have, right? We're an open community, so we don't take registrations and membership and things like that. So we're always kind of like puzzling over how many people are active in the community or are part of the community but less active. The other major set of questions that I think was useful for us was this outputs and evaluation section at the bottom of the profile, and kind of thinking about what it means for success in our community. So we do talk internally about measures of success. So we talk internally about these measures of success, but this document sort of is from an external lens in a way, right? And so we can kind of look at what somebody from the outside looking at our community might see and think about success. So we're excited about that. I also find it interesting to think about this, as mentioned in the previous talk, as a snapshot of our community right now. With the pandemic, there are a few elements of this profile that are really flavored by the world that we live in right now, right? We can't do a lot of the activities that we as a community wanted to do, things like visiting universities to talk to them about their data science programs aren't really on the table anymore. And so thinking about how this profile would change from year to year is interesting to us. And I'd like to hear more maybe from Lou about what an update process might look like. Because I think that for our community, it would be nice for us to be able to see how we changed over the last few years as we continue to grow. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention, and I think this has also been mentioned by Lou, is this idea that as this corpus of profiles grows, there are real opportunities for understanding relationships among communities and potential connections that I wouldn't be able to find otherwise, right? Right now, a lot of community connections that we make are serendipitous in nature. We're just sort of running into somebody and then jumping on a call with them and saying, hey, let's chat about our apparent similarities. But I think that a body of profiles like this could be a real great tool for making connections that you might not otherwise have made. And I think with that, I'm all set. If there are any questions for me specifically about my experience or ADSA, I'm happy to take them.